friends, welcome. Today is August 16th and it is Sunday and we are going to go into our Bibles. So if you want, grab your Bibles and we're going to go into the New Testament. So the New Testament is after Jesus has been born. And so open towards the back. If you see Acts, you went too far. If you see Isaiah, you went too far forward. And you're going to go into Matthew 15. And you are going to look where it says clean and unclean, and that's Matthew 15. So look in the right-hand corner, look for Matthew, and then 1:5. And we're going to learn today about the Pharisees' interaction with Jesus in Matthew 15. So we have Jesus talking to the Pharisees, and the Pharisees accuse the disciples of not following tradition. And they say, why do your disciples break the tradition of the elders? They don't wash their hands before they eat. This is essentially the Pharisees saying, why do your disciples have bad table manners? The Pharisees really wanted to find a moment where Jesus messed up. They wanted to see if he would either break Roman law or Jewish law. And they didn't like Jesus and they didn't like the crowds that he gathered around him. So they thought the best way to stop him was to discover him doing something wrong. However, we all know that Jesus is perfect, and so it was impossible to find him doing something wrong. Instead, the Pharisees found a moment when the disciples didn't wash their hands before they ate, which, just like today, is bad table manners. We spent a lot of time this year talking about washing our hands. I'm sure your parents ask you to wash your hands every time you come inside. We wash our hands a lot more frequently now than we ever have. And so we know the importance of washing our hands. But it doesn't mean you're a bad person if you forget to wash your hands. And so Jesus knew there were more important things than just washing your hands. But it was the only way the Pharisees could find something wrong with Jesus. Have you ever met someone who puts other people down to make themselves feel better? Well, that's what the Pharisees were doing, and that's a bad quality in a person. And Jesus knew the Pharisees were being unkind, so he stopped them. Okay, so Jesus instead drew his attention to a more serious problem than just washing your hands. You see, Jesus knew it was okay to get dirty on the outside. We all get dirty from time to time. Sometimes you get dirty playing outside. Sometimes you get dirty while baking with your parents. Sometimes you get dirty just by playing with markers. That's okay. Jesus doesn't mind if we get dirty on the outside. But what he wants is for us to have a clean and good heart. And he says in the Bible, listen and understand what goes into someone's mouth doesn't defile them, but what comes out of their mouth is what defiles them. Defiles means to make something unclean. So if I have these 2 pennies here, and they're very, very dirty, and then I have these 2 pennies over here, and they're clean, are my pennies worth more because they're cleaner than these pennies? No, because it's just an outside problem. They're just a little bit dirty, but they're still worth the same amount. Jesus knows that we're worth the same amount if we're dirty on the outside, because that doesn't matter. What he cares about is our heart. And so I had you guys do an activity this week where you put the pennies in the vinegar. And if you see right there, my pennies are still being cleaned, but just because they're clean on the outside doesn't mean they're worth more on the inside. It doesn't matter what's on the outside. It's what's going on the inside. So Jewish scripture had a lot of rules about the foods that you ate. And some foods were considered clean and other foods were considered unclean. And the priests at that time spent so much time being concerned about what was clean and unclean. And Jesus is kind of saying that this is a waste of time. What we really need to worry about is what's inside your heart. He knew it's more important how you treated and cared for others than it was to be clean on the outside. So I'm going to show you my 2 coffee cups. So I have these 2 cups right here. And this one looks pretty clean, right? And this one looks really dirty. But when I take us a little bit closer and I pour water inside, and we get closer to the matter, you may say you want to drink from this cup, right? Because this one looks pretty dirty. But what if I showed you the inside? Which one would you want to drink from?
That one.
This one, right? This one's not dirty inside. This one looks pretty yucky. So we want to remember that it's more important what's on the inside than what's on the outside. So the next time you're getting ready to eat, stop and think. Wash your hands and thank your parents for providing such a delicious meal. You may think you're preparing yourself to eat, but you're actually preparing your heart to show gratitude towards the ones that take care of you. Jesus wants us to be more concerned with how we treat people than what's actually on our plate. Jesus explains to the disciples in Matthew 15:17 through 19, "Don't you see whatever enters the mouth goes into the stomach and then out of the body? But the things that come out of a person's mouth comes from the heart, and these defile them. They make them unclean. Out of our heart comes evil thoughts. These are what defile a person. But eating with unwashed hands does not defile a person. Therefore, if you are struggling with mean thoughts, talk to your parents or teachers or pastors. Ask them how you can work through these thoughts to be kinder to people. Don't keep your fear or anger pent up on the inside. Instead, talk to somebody you trust. And remember, it's okay to get dirty from time to time. But before I go, I do want to talk to you about one matter of our heart that we can do right here in our homes and help people from all over the country. So I sent your parents an email talking about how we can help our missions team with health kits. These health kits are an opportunity for us to pack bags to send to people who might have gone through a natural disaster like a hurricane. And the United Methodist Church has a organized effort. It's called the United Methodist Committee on Relief, UMCOR. And what they do is they pack these plastic gallon bags and they put one towel in it, one washcloth, one comb, one toenail clipper, one bath size soap, one adult toothbrush, 10 bandages, and $2 for toothpaste. And we pack that in a gallon bag. And then we send that to people in need. Okay, so this is a great opportunity for us to share our love and our warm hearts with other people throughout our country. So I pray that you have a wonderful week. Ask your parents if you can donate to our hurricane relief kit bags. And I hope to see you next week. I am looking forward to being with you all soon. May God bless you and keep you and your family safe. Bye.